When fat guys talk, people listen. Welcome to Fat Guy Talks. As always, I'm your host, the Fat Guy. Here again with the amateur hour recording method that I've had to adopt as of late, but hopefully that'll be remedied soon. So, I said this is going to be the summer of the Fat Guy, and I want that statement to be true. So I figured I'll keep the momentum going. I'm sorry if you notice that my tongue is blue. I just had an icy. It's my first one of the summer. Anyway, so I figured, why not do another Fat Guy Talks? I brainstormed at some topics, like I said I was going to, and I came up with, why not take a look at the name? Fat Guy Does Things. What's in a name? Sort of the question to ponder today. Well, obviously does things, you probably know it's kind of a cop-out. It's just sort of an easy way for me to say, this channel isn't just vlogs. It's not just reading fan fiction or eating fast food. It's things. It's just like everything. I mean, not everything, It's not going to be Fat Guy Does Everything. You're not going to see me reviewing, lipstick, even though I probably got the lips for it. But, it was just kind of a general thing that seems like it would roll off the tongue, but Fat Guy, there's sort of a question there that I didn't really stop to ask myself until I thought of this video. What self-respecting person outright calls themselves a fat guy? Well, the truth is, it's sort of a coping mechanism. I'm about to go into the second part of the video. One of the, this is probably going to be the bulk of the video, to be honest with you. It's going to get a little real here. So, I have been overweight as long as I can remember. I was born 9 pounds. I don't know how many. It's kind of weird that by the way, a sidebar, it's kind of weird that we measure babies by pounds and ounces like they're, fish that we caught. That's just my opinion. Looking back on some old pictures of myself and videos, I was kind of, I was a fairly, average built kid. And then, at least as a toddler. And then I kind of, started to grow as I got older. I was pretty much fat through most of my childhood, and here into adulthood. Without throwing out a specific number, I'd say about 3 years ago, before I started, about a year before I started this channel, before I started posting on this channel, when I was unemployed, and basically spending whatever money I had on snack foods to, basically eat from depression. I was just south of 500 pounds. Now, I'm 6'7", so, you kind of look at me and you might not see, I obviously, I got the stomach, I've got big legs, arms, everything else, the sort of double chin, but you wouldn't think this guy is over 400 pounds necessarily. I mean, and then again, you might. It's hard to tell. It's hard to evaluate from my vantage point. Um, but I guess what I'm trying to say is I've been told I carry it well, and I'd like to think that's the case, but it's just it's something I've had to live with pretty much all my life. And I've tried to deal with it head on before. I kind of made a crack about how, like, sometimes you tell people you're starting a diet and then you don't really follow through on it. In the last Fat Guy Talks I did, and I do say that from experience, like I said. Basically I tried a number of crash diets. I did like protein shakes for a little bit. I tried fasting, intermittent fasting. And I've tried exercising on and off. I currently have a gym membership, but due to this whole COVID thing, there really hasn't been an opportunity for me to go to the gym. So I've taken walks though, and I do keep track of my steps. But I think it's kind of a mental block, and I know that probably sounds like an excuse, and it is. But there's just something. When you do something for so long, it's so much easier to keep doing it than trying to change or modify that behavior. I think a lot of people can agree with that statement. So it's tough. It used to be, I guess, more of a social issue with me. It was, I really didn't get picked on for my weight like that much, because I think part of it was because I was bigger than the other kids, and they didn't want to they thought I might beat them up or sit on them or something, and also I've just always tried to be a nice person, so I have been called a hungry hippo before, so that was fun. But it used to be more of a concern of I'm overweight so girls won't like me. Now that I'm an adult, now that I'm 25, the concern is more about my health, as it should have been. That kind of superficial motivation for losing weight never really yields any results. So, but now that I'm an adult, like I said, it's an issue of trying to prevent heart disease, which I have a family history of. Type 2 diabetes, I've been lucky enough to not have that. And I do try to monitor what I watch. I do go overboard, I will admit freely. I drink more pop than I should. So I think I've spent enough time just talking about being fat. So I guess the last thing I want to end on is why do I call myself a fat guy? What's with Fat Guy Does Things? It's something I've kind of learned to live with. Like I said, I've been dealing with it all my life. Excuse me. I've kind of made some workarounds to get around some of the more uncomfortable aspects of it. I do really poorly with heat, for example, which is why you might be able to hear the air conditioner hissing right now in my car, because I don't do well with heat. I sweat profusely. Or like, you know, sometimes I get back pain if I work too long. So at work I have different tactics to use to sort of minimize the potential for discomfort. So, you know, the one thing that I really want to stress with this is, you know, I know that changes need to be made in my life. I don't want to be, you know, a fat guy forever. I've accepted the fact that I'll probably always be overweight, because at the size I am right now, I just don't see myself getting down to like 150 pounds. You know what I mean? But if I can get even under 300 pounds and stay there and, you know, maintain an active lifestyle relatively, I would be happy. So you might see a series touching on this in the near future. But like I said, you know, sometimes when you declare it for all the world to see, it ends up blowing up in your face. So that's kind of it. I'm sorry this video kind of went in a direction people might not have expected if they didn't read the title, but you know, it was just something I wanted to touch on. I felt like it was something I wanted to explain, so hopefully you enjoyed the video. You know, feel free to leave a comment. You know, what's something that you've felt like you've kind of learned to adapt with in your life? You know, if you struggle with weight issues, you know, what's helped you? Let me know. I would be happy to know. Because one thing is, I want to say is, I really do enjoy reading the comments that people leave on the videos. Now, I do get, like, bots saying, want to be my friend. I think they're trying to, like, steal my debit card or something. But for the people who watch and respond to the videos, thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed this video, and take care.